Previously on the Hairdryer Treatment.
That was under Alex Ferguson.
Let me tell you something. If Manchester United wins the title this season, I will shave my head.
Oh, okay. We got this down. We got this down.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Hairdryer Treatment with me, Casey, and Keyshenn. Liverpool CR Mark 1 and Liverpool CR Mark 2 flanking us today. And today is going to be a special video again, like our transfer video in the past. We're going to do a mid-season review. If you guys haven't been following us from the start, my bad. But if you guys haven't been following us from the start, we did a podcast earlier with just the audio format, and we did our season's predictions earlier on in the season. And a bunch of us, I think me, Keyshenn, and Kumar did our predictions early. I think Bharatth wasn't around at that point. And we did our predictions, and basically we're going to look at our new predictions, which we just made.
Yeah, so we're going to review our old predictions, see where we are at currently at the moment. And after what, 22 games?
22 games.
We're going to make some changes, and this time we're also going to get Bharatth's point of view of where the teams are going to finish as well. So I think before without further ado, we can start to bring out Kumar's table for a start.
Okay, so
this way.
So these were, if you guys don't know, this was the first prediction.
Yeah, this is the first prediction.
So this was back in September,
This was
I believe.
October.
October,
This, I
September,
think,
October.
was after like 4 or 5 game weeks in. Season was still a bit early. The transfer window was not closed yet. But this was a bit more of like a premature prediction. So, Kumar, you want to run through with us like why is your top 4 that and your bottom 3? And
I think this was when Manchester United was doing quite badly, a bad start. I think one of the
this was
worst
right.
starts.
Yeah.
It's on 3 or 4 game, I think.
Yeah. I think 5-6 games into
Correct,
the
yeah.
season already. So, yeah, that was why I predicted. That's why the whole table lined up this way. But I think the bottom 3 explains for itself. Like, in fact, the bottom 5 is still
Roughly there.
Roughly
Yeah, roughly
there.
there,
So
yeah.
I think I'm
Except
quite
maybe
spot on
Burnley.
there.
Yeah.
Burnley, I think, is still there.
No, I think Brighton made the jump up already.
Yeah. So, I mean, City, I'm still going for City to be champions. Liverpool, maybe currently I'll just push. You will see the new table later on, our new predictions.
So are we going? Do you think? Wait. So are we going to see like big changes to this table?
Big changes, yeah, maybe. You'll see later.
Okay. So the next table we're going to bring up is Casey's table. Oh wait, who's is it? I think it's mine. Okay,
it's
Casey's
my
table.
table,
So Casey, run through with us.
As you can see,
Why,
I made a
Mourinho
big boo-boos on the table. As you can see, I predicted Spurs to win the title. Because I don't know why, but it was looking like that for like maybe a couple
I
of
think
weeks.
because this was quite fresh after the 6-1 defeat also, right? I mean, the 6-1 hammering of
I
United
can't remember
at
if
Old
this was
Trafford.
after.
No, it's
Slightly
before,
after, yeah.
it was before.
I believe it was before.
After, I think.
After
Yeah.
all this is after.
After 2-3 game play already, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so Spurs is a big boo-boo. I think that we can all agree that Mourinho has just lost the plot at this point. But the rest of the top 6, even Arsenal, I predicted to be a top 5. They seem to be making their way up, except that they're losing to Aston Villa right now as we record
should
this
have lost
video.
already.
Should have lost by now.
I will
think
check. Continue.
you can
stoppage
check.
time.
It was stoppage
Oh,
time.
they
and we
lost.
So they lost 1-0 to Aston Villa, and they are languishing at about 8th or 9th. I think
They're currently at 10.
currently 10th in the league.
2 defeats
So
in a
even
row.
Spurs and Arsenal letting me down in terms of my predictions. I overestimated them, I believe. But Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, I underestimated Man City a bit too much this season, I believe. And Man City is in the 4th spot, but I think there's going to be a couple of big changes up top. But bottom 5-wise, I think we are all around the same. We're thinking around the same thing. Fulham, West Brom. I think Fulham will be. I gave them a higher one in my new prediction.
We'll see that afterwards.
West Brom and Brighton as well, also higher. And we got the likes of Sheffield United going into that relegation. So I initially believe that they won't
They
be
might
relegated.
survive, right? Yeah.
But they still might.
might, yeah.
They're not doing that badly
that
in the
bad.
last
Not that
in
bad,
the
yeah.
past couple of games. They got a couple of wins as well. So like around a few changes around the top and bottom. But yeah, nothing much.
Okay, then the last one which I made was that the most messed up predictions ever. But if you think about it, it's not so messed up right now. I've got Arsenal finishing 8th, currently at 10. Villa's performing, Leicester's performing. I think the only one I didn't suspect performing was West Ham. Yeah, because West Ham are high up. I did say Leeds were going to drop off. Leeds is dropping off. Palace is there. Newcastle is also there. I expected Burnley to finish bottom because at that point they were like losing so many games in a row. But I think currently they went back to their old Burnley form, their own Burnley gameplay, grinding out wins. I did predict in my new table that they would survive the drop. I expected Sheffield to start picking up points at the start, but their bad performances after 20 games in. I think all of us here can agree that they might be the one making that drop.
So you have Liverpool in 5th.
Yeah. Okay, this was, when Van Dijk was injured, so many players started getting injured. So at the point, when your whole first team squad is out injured, you would expect them to drop off, drop your points and stuff. But no, they kept continuing, but we are currently seeing that form right now when, they...
Struggling to get wins.
Struggling to get wins. Injuries caught up with them. Fatigue has caught up with them.
Actually, this is not highly impossible. No? It's actually possible.
It's possible because I think right now they are...
Except Spurs, I believe.
Only reason why I say this is possible is coming back to the point where we made about our centre backs and our defence injuries.
Yeah.
Simple.
Because you guys have a lengthy injury list.
Yeah.
Fatigue has caught up with you already. Because I don't see the front three performing the same as how you saw 2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
I've got Chelsea up there, I've got Spurs up there, but big mistake. It's a Mourinho team. My new prediction, you would see that Spurs team way out of that picture. I think Chelsea might be a bit lenient with the top 4. New table, something else as well. I did predict United win at the point where everyone thought it wasn't possible. So I was the first one, my vision. So but then again, the thing is we are second.
In Tamil, we have this saying, "Vaayila nalla varudhu." If Tamil people are watching, you'll understand, but carry on, please.
Okay, but I think on current form, we are second. We are overperforming according to a lot of people. So my prediction is not that far off.
Yeah, it's not. I think out of all of us, I think yours probably the most
accurate so far.
So far, but we're going off to the current predictions now.
At that point, Bharatth hasn't joined our team, but now he has. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at Bharatth's
as of now
predictions that we'll see at the end of season. Can we bring up Bharatth's table? So okay, this table is brought to you by BBC Sports. So if we are
currently sponsored by BBC Sports.
I hope so. But if you do wish to join in the fun, create your own table, we'll add the link there. You can create your own finalized table and stuff like that, and you can share with us as well. So
this is made for the fans, lah.
Yeah, this is made for the fans. Yeah. So put your table.
I don't think Liverpool win the league this season.
I think you should just start at the bottom 3 first.
Okay, say a bit louder.
Oh. Okay. I said I don't think Liverpool win the league this season.
Okay, just one more time.
So I went for City to be champions because they've been doing pretty well. I still think that we will have a late surge to get back into second spot. United with the Europa League coming up, going to be a bit tough. I see them dropping a few points to be dropped, but I don't think it's going to be very, very far away there. It's going to be very tight.
What league you said?
Europa League.
What's that song? Is that always the song?
We don't need a rendition of that. Okay.
Then I went for Chelsea in 4 because I think Thomas Tuchel, I think he has a bit more pedigree and experience. He can push Chelsea into that top 4 spot. And if you look below, it's Everton and Leicester I went for, who are good. They've been there all season, but they just don't have that extra something. And I went for teams like Villa and West Ham falling off. At the bottom...
wait, before we go to the bottom, one big team stands out in that table, and they're currently 10. You want to talk a bit about that?
Oh, I went Arsenal 10.
Oh my.
They will pick up this season.
Oh my God.
But they just lost. They lost
So
the last...
actually, at current point, right?
They are at 10. They will flirt from 7 to 13 over the season.
I agree. Yeah.
But I think 10 should be okay because they don't really have a great team. They just lost a few players. Manager, I mean, we have the conversation about Arsenal all the time.
Yeah, correct.
They're in bad shape. Getting better, but I don't think this season, especially COVID season, the games come in so thick and fast, like what you said, fatigue, injuries. I don't think this is the season that they can climb back up. So 10 should be good. Maybe next season is the season we will see a resurgence of Arsenal. At the bottom, I went West Brom, Sheffield and Fulham. Either way, I think these are the 3 that are going down, but I think Sheffield will just get a bit more points.
Fulham?
Fulham, we had that whole draw
Correct,
conversation where they keep getting points, but you see Burnley gets wins.
Yeah.
Burnley gets wins at Anfield. They get wins. They get stupid wins. 1-0 at Spurs. You know, that's that team. So I think they will just sneak it. Fulham, just not good enough nowadays.
Do you think there'll be a gap between 17 and 18? Like, we will know like who gets relegated like few weeks before the season ends.
I will say
do you think it'll be
maybe
very tight?
3 games, maybe 2 games.
So we'll know who's getting relegated. Maybe
Yeah,
the
maybe
last two.
last 2 games. I think maybe like Burnley will be safe 2 or 3 games right before the end.
Okay.
Sheffield and West Brom are going down for sure. I just think Sheffield will have a bit more to climb one spot up, but doesn't save them. Because West Brom look like shambles, honestly.
Yes.
They get goals here and there, but they don't have a playing style. It's Simon Rice.
Deserve it, lah.
Yeah,
Just go farming. Go farming.
yeah. So that's my bottom 3, lah, guys. I don't see any of them having enough to get out of there.
Okay, that's a fair shot of your
From Bharatth's table.
Bharatth's
Who's the next one?
predicted table. The next one, I think we have Kumar's table coming up. And this is Kumar's. Is this Kumar? Kumar, is this your
it's
table?
Kumar's table.
Yeah, this is mine.
Okay, yeah. So you want to talk to us? Okay, let's start a bit different this time. Your bottom 3, and then we move on to the top 6.
I think if I'm not wrong, my previous table, I think it was.
Somewhat the
Sorry,
same?
it was not similar. Fulham was. Fulham and
All
West
the way
Brom
up.
was. So,
But
So
all
you
three
had
at the
Sheffield at the
bottom.
bottom, is it?
yeah, Sheffield was still all the way at the bottom for me. Why I bring Fulham closer, maybe towards the
The safe zone.
escaping zone because of the current way they play. They are just unlucky, I think. But they have a very organised style of playing, whether it's Craven Cottage or away games. But quality matters in the Premier League, and they don't have it. They don't have the Premier League quality. So that is the only reason, even with the organisation, they are still not getting over the line. So that's
exactly what I thought when I said it's the same thing.
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bottom 4 is
correct.
the same as yours.
So
Exact thoughts.
Burnley is currently languishing over there is solely because of their poor start of the
Correct,
season.
yeah.
If they had started better, I don't think they'll be there. I think Newcastle will be there. But because of Newcastle's current inconsistent form around there, so Burnley, Newcastle have to be careful. If not, they might
Get sucked
just
into the.
get sucked into the relegation zone, and Fulham might escape.
Survive, yeah.
I got a feeling they might.
I think
but
it'll be
it
very
really-
tight. Those
Yeah.
18 to like 16
16,
spot, right?
yeah.
Will be very-
Because all got
There's a
Premier
double
League
game week
pending.
coming up. I mean, in terms of FPL,
FPL,
for
yeah.
Fulham.
Oh, Fulham. So because they have not played enough games
Yeah,
yet.
so
right?
that 2 games, right, back to back in that week, right, will actually determine
do
what's going to
you
be their
know
season.
who they're playing? Or
Can't remember.
Can't really recall.
It's okay.
okay, it's okay. But
Still through. Top 6 day.
Top 6 now.
Okay, standard Man City. Definitely they are going to win it. Ruben Dias, what a player. Centre back, they bought him to replace Company, and he's doing exactly what Company used to do
I
at
feel
his
like he's
prime
doing
age.
exactly like what Van Dijk has done to Liverpool.
Correct. He's the Van Dijk for them currently. He's playing
make
all the
people
games.
better around
Yeah, if the game that he plays, right, he's the main difference in that whole side actually. He brings Cancelo, want to defend, he brings the fullback. He's telling them where to go. So that's the reason why there is those forward players can make those runs and confuse players, and Pep Guardiola's style is back. So I think he will definitely sweep the league this season.
You've got United.
got
and
Man
second.
United above
United,
Liverpool.
But
yeah.
before this, you had him at 6 because I agree that was because of the bad run of form.
Then there was a lot of behind the scenes going on. All those
Ole
shit is
getting-
going.
Correct,
Ole
yeah.
getting sacked, and players, Pogba wants to leave
leave
and stuff
and all
like
that,
that.
yeah.
So that's the reason. But now it's because of current form and quality that's kicking in. Fernandes is, exceptional. He's for me the best player in the in terms of midfield. For me, he's the best player in the world currently. So. But their inconsistency is
Correct.
what's going to cost them
Yeah.
the league. That's why I put them second. Third, Liverpool. Somehow we'll still get over the lines against the bigger teams. So that's why we probably will
Champions
end up
League
in the
as well.
Champions League spot. Chelsea is going to get 4th. That's because of Thomas Tuchel. Going to
Chelsea
bring
is
in a bit
currently
more.
in
I think 6
Seven?
or 7.
Six or
6 or
seven,
7,
Yeah.
around there.
So if they can grind out another few more results here and there, they probably will make the top 4. And the rest of my
You've
table
got Leicester
explains-
and Arsenal finishing the Europa
Yeah.
League position, which is
one thing that differentiates mine with Arsenal, why I give them 6, not judging about the game that
No,
they
of
just
course,
played.
of course, yeah.
But I think they have a style already now.
Yeah.
They just have to grind the results out.
And make sure
I
the players
think
are
they can possibly. West Ham and Arsenal is either one. They will be just
we just
either one will be at the top.
Yeah.
and you got Spurs down.
because
at
Spurs not so far away from that. But I
Yeah.
think the team that stands out for me is actually Aston Villa finishing at 10. This is because
8. You think they're going to drop off, basically?
Solely because their away game record is not very good. That's one thing. And inconsistency, like they lost at home to West Ham. I
West
think.
Ham, yeah.
So
They need to get points
The
against those teams.
inconsistency plus their away record is not very helpful for them. So I think that it's a good season for them.
It's a good
actually.
season,
It's a very good
definitely,
season. I think 10th is from where they were last season.
Last
to
season,
10th.
17.
Yeah,
They
I
supposed
think
to go
it's,
down,
actually. 18.
it's
Yeah,
a
they
very
supposed
big
to go
progress for them actually. And why I say they are going to be at 10 is because the team is getting tired, fatigued. Dean Smith is playing the same side again and again.
Yeah,
He's only
McGinn,
rotating about one or
Grealish,
two.
Watkins.
Yeah.
One of them, two of them injured. Problem
It's
for
gone,
them
yeah.
really. Yeah.
So that's why I give them 10th.
Okay.
Fair
Do you
enough.
want to talk a bit about your Spurs side? Why is it 8? Because you had them in your top 4, right?
Yeah,
Initially.
yeah.
Third to eighth, fifth, 5 places.
The
drop.
approach that Jose takes in every game, I mean, he's setting back when he got players that can actually bombard forward. Son, Bale, Bergwijn, all these players. He can actually change his style if he wants to, but he doesn't want to. He's stubborn.
He's
Always
very
sets back.
stubborn.
Kane is the main factor why I put them at 8 because even if he comes back now, I don't think he's going to hit form again because every time he comes back from injury, it takes a while, a few
And
games.
it's a long injury because it's the same ankle
Yeah,
that's injured over and over
So
again.
yeah, that's their season done.
Yeah,
this is
and if I'm not wrong, they're in the Europa League, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to cost
It's
them
gonna cost
a
them
lot
also.
of
And
problems.
he also lost the dressing room already, so
In a way, yeah.
Lost the fans as well. I think
lost
some
the
of them
fans,
calling for
obviously.
his head. But yeah, I think that is wrapped
That
up
is-
for Kumar's table.
Next, we will have Casey's table.
Yeah, big changes for my table. I believe it will come up in a second.
Yeah, it's right here now.
Yes, I believe this is my table.
Yeah, correct.
So as you can see, big changes in terms of who will win the title. Obviously, I had City down in 4th. Before we knew the impact Ruben Dias was going to make in this side, I did not expect him to have that Van Dijk effect on Man City, but he has had that. So I've pushed them all the way up top. I think the fact that they are getting clean sheets over clean sheets over clean sheets against a lot of teams, that's going to be a major factor. And the likes of tomorrow, I think, as of the time of recording, I think tomorrow is playing Liverpool's playing City.
Yeah.
And if they manage to shut out Liverpool as well, it's looking like
The
it's
title
dead
is
and done.
Yeah, wrapped
So
up. Yeah.
City up top, Liverpool, I think, have, despite their injury, I think they have the pedigree, they have the quality to make it back up the table. They're currently not far, they're about only 5-6 points behind at this stage. And I do believe they can make up the points if they manage to get back a few players from injury and if players like Kabak and
Ben Davis.
Kabak and Ben Davies, they managed to seal the gap a bit, plug the hole at the back, and push their midfield players up, Hendo and all that, into their proper positions. I feel like they can make it back up. And then I have United at 3rd. I think that I had them in 6th, I believe.
You had them at 6, yeah.
So that was based on their form and all this, like Kumar said, the behind the scenes and all that going on. Ole keeping his job, the Glazers not putting in money into the club to bring in adequate replacements and stuff. So I had them in 6th, but they've kind of proven me wrong in certain games and in a certain period of time. Actually, in the last 5-6 weeks, 7 weeks even maybe, they've gone on their away record is insane.
Yeah.
It's still unbeaten in a year. Or
Let's not
more,
jinx it. Let's not jinx
more
it.
than a year, in fact. Whatever, jinx is jinx, but
Yeah. I mean, facts is facts.
so I think that away record is going to carry us back into the Champions League. We are, of course, out of it right now. We got knocked out, but I think next season we'll be back in it. Leicester City is kind of the shock. I think that most people are not going to expect them to make the Champions League. I think they are going to make the Champions League because they've shown that they can do it without Vardy. In the last couple of games, the likes of Madison is coming to the fore again. He's stepped up. Harvey Barnes is getting on the score sheet.
Iheanacho as well.
Iheanacho got a goal in the last game as well. So I think they have enough to maintain their current position. I think that if they can maybe get a draw against the bigger sides or pick up some points against the bigger sides, they will definitely be able to make it on 4th. I think the most shocking would be that Chelsea, even under Tuchel, I have them out of the Champions League, out of the Europa
Europa League.
Europa League six.
around the Europa League spot as well. I think that Tuchel is doing a decent job since he came in. Clean sheets in the last 3 games. Chelsea, looking like they are a bit more defensively solid at the back. But I feel like they will be exposed against the bigger teams. I think that when they play the likes of United again, and they play the likes of I don't know whether they're playing all the big teams again.
So they haven't played Liverpool at Anfield.
So they're going to play
City.
Liverpool at Anfield. They're going to play City as well. I think these are the games where Tuchel will be a bit exposed. Of course, managers like Ole has a record over
beating big
but obviously, it's a different side. It's the PSG side. It's a better side. Some can argue over the likes of Tuchel. So I think that this season might be a bit too late for him. But around 6th is where I'm going. And Arsenal, I think, as we predicted, to be honest, not much change there. But I think I dropped them a bit back because I expected them to be doing. They did have a phase where they were climbing back up the table with a lot of impressive wins, 5 wins in a row or something like that. But with the injuries they have, with the stupid red cards they're getting, it doesn't seem to be going away yet. So I think they will languish around the same spot. Bottom 3, I have Newcastle, Sheffield, West Brom. No surprise there, to be honest. I think West Brom.
I think no surprise if you're
I
bottom
think
two,
your
but
Newcastle is a very big
No, I
surprise.
want to-
Newcastle is a big surprise.
I want to ask, what is Leeds doing there?
Yeah, really.
That
That's
is
what
surprising.
was itching my eye. Like, why
Like
is
I
Leeds
said,
there?
Leeds is a very good side in terms of attacking gung-ho football, like we've always said on the show.
Yeah, agreed.
But I feel like the likes of maybe I could have swapped Leeds and Fulham, but maybe
that would have made a
I'm
bit
placing a bit too much
Faith
faith in
in
Fulham,
Fulham,
because I feel like they really can do something here. I think that they can stay in the league this season. They have strengthened in the January transfer window. I think that Scott Parker can do something here.
He has an
Leeds-
identity, right?
Yeah, he has an identity. He has like a style of football going now. Leeds need to be a bit more pragmatic if they want to finish higher than 17th.
Newcastle down?
Newcastle going down is very, very possible.
It's very possible
Because
at current moment.
current
Yeah.
moment, yes, I know they picked up a win or 2 wins, a win or 2
A
wins.
win, but at
One
current
win.
moment, I agree that they could finish there.
They could
Yeah,
finish
yeah,
there.
they could finish
If
there, yeah.
if Steve Bruce stays in the job, they could very well finish there. I know he's a United legend. I respect him as a player and everything, but I don't think he's a coach for Newcastle. Newcastle is it's
I
one of
think
those clubs
the
where
players
you
they
expect
have
them to be
to-
higher.
Yeah.
They are meant to be in where Arsenal and West Ham are at the
Rich in
moment.
tradition, so
Exactly, and there are
yeah,
fans.
and there are fans and
they
all,
have
yeah.
solid fans, solid
Yeah,
stadium.
solid
At one point, they were chasing for the title, I think back in the 90s as well.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they
So-
were top four, even in like 20 years ago, they were still playing
Challenging
top four, yeah.
in the upper side of the table. But right now, you see where I put them, and right now where they are in the actual table,
It's not
it's
very far,
Steve Bruce is not it for me. They have to
not,
get
yeah.
a manager in, maybe a foreign manager. Get a bit of identity going.
If
Get a
Rafa
bit
comes
of
back, they might
exactly.
save their season.
Manager like Rafa Benitez. If they do that, they can make it to safety and
Yeah.
all. But I think that if Steve Bruce stays in a job,
Newcastle.
I think the players are coming back from injury, like
but-
Alan
but-
Saint-Maximin.
yeah, but like say Alex and Maximan, the likes of Callum Wilson can pick up form now. They can stay in the league, and we can maybe see a swap between like the likes of Fulham, Leeds, Brighton, around those. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. This season is crazy. Leeds may very well
drop
shock us by dropping down and headed back down to the league,
Yeah,
to the
I mean,
championship.
first season somehow.
First season as well.
This-
So
the season is just full of shockers at the moment.
so that's my table. I think those are the most biggest changes I've had in my table. And finally, we have Keyshenn's table.
My table.
I'll quickly go through it.
Okay, I will go through the bottom three first. I've got West Brom, Fulham, Sheffield. I feel like Sheffield, they don't have enough to stay up. They will do well in the
Decent,
second half of the
yeah,
season, but not enough points to keep them up because I think
I did. I
yeah,
pushed them up
it's
because
like-
yeah.
I think the gap is too big.
Yeah,
already.
too big already.
Too
But
big.
they will get a few more wins. They won't finish bottom.
I've Kumar's favorite team finishing bottom. I think you're going to join him farming soon, right? You want to supervise?
I will
right?
teach him farming. Even though I don't know.
Yeah, but I see West Brom. It's that team that like can't get the wins or the points here and there. It doesn't
Work like that.
It doesn't work
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think Sam Allardyce just brags a lot.
Yeah,
He thinks that he always has this magic wherever he
Yeah,
goes.
he can
but it's
save
bullshit.
everybody, yeah.
Because I think he's still living in the early 2000s where he thinks he can just do whatever he wants. But
Agreed.
it doesn't work that way in current modern football.
Yeah, I
and
mean
all.
your CV is one thing, but at current job, if you're not performing, it's not going to save
Yeah.
you. And the players he has in that squad, I don't think he's going to make it. I've Sheffield finishing 18, Fulham in 19. I think Fulham is that team where you can perform, but you will not get your wins. Yeah, because I don't think the draws are enough. You need to start grinding out the wins. I've Burnley finishing 17. Initially, I had them finishing bottom of the table. That's because of the early season where they kept losing all the games. Now they're picking up wins here and there against the big teams. Surprising wins against Liverpool. Comeback against Villa as well.
Yeah.
They performed well against City and Chelsea, but they lost. But if they can keep their performance up, I could see them escaping. Not really escaping, but just surviving.
Significantly surviving.
Yeah, so
Yeah, by a few points, yeah.
I can see that bottom three really getting very
Very early. Yeah,
About 5-6 games to go, that kind of thing.
Top 6.
Now top 6. As you all know, I predicted United to finish the season first. That could happen, that could not happen, because City's form is amazing at the moment. United, we have to keep that form. We have to keep that hunger, that drive. Because you have seen Fernandes coming out recently, say he wants to win trophies and all that. He wants to die winning trophies. I think people around him has been influenced. You see Pogba stepping up. You see McTominay, who is not a world-class midfielder, but he's the midfielder who's stepping up a lot. He's that vocal part, he's that vocalist in that team, like if we are doing badly, he'll spur everyone on. Maguire's not our captain at the moment. I mean, technically he is, but to me he's not.
Not a leader, you mean?
Yeah, he's not a
He's
leader.
the captain, not the leader.
He's not a leader. You have likes of Rashford, who's pushing forward. I think 16 goals, 7 assists at current
In all
moment.
competitions, is it?
That's in all
All
competitions.
competitions, like.
I think it's only like 8 goals or something in the Premier League or something.
Yeah, Cavani is also stepping up.
Cavani is 6, I think. 6 in the Premier League.
6, no, I think total 6.
Total 6.
Mason and Marshall has yet to step up. I hope they do, because if they do, we will be finishing top comfortably.
Comfortably.
Yeah, I'm saying that
Comfortably.
with ease, like with confidence. I have City finishing second. I have a good feeling when the Champions League come back, right, Pep will start to focus on that. Because that is the competition that has been haunting him since his Bayern days. Last season, we all know, like, he lost out to Lyon, right? And that was very disappointing for him.
But that was the COVID Champions League, the one leg one they lost.
And that's the one he made the big changes, right? Yeah. And everyone was like going at him, like, why you make so many changes? You think Lyon's like a small team, you get knocked out 3-1. So I think when the competition starts coming in, we will see a different City side. Why have United finishing first? Even
Though we have Europa.
League is because our squad depth is amazing. It's not that great of reserve players, but they should get the job done. I have Liverpool finishing third. I think I'm going to bring out this, like, how you say, this standard thing we've been hearing, mentality monsters. I think the thing is still there. You don't have the players right now, but it's more of like the best of the rest. That's how you guys are finishing third. The most surprising team I have there is West Ham finishing fourth. The reason why is because they don't have...
West Ham 4th.
Yeah, because they don't have European football.
European football.
They can
Because
play
of this guy.
They can play one game a week. They can rotate their players. You have players like Antonio, Susak, and I think the main guy right now is Jesse Lingard. My man Jesse.
How does he do it? Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see that over there. So if they finish fourth, I won't be surprised. Fifth,
I
sixth.
think the next get injured.
I've got Leicester finishing fifth because I don't think they have the squad depth to compete both in Premier League and Europa League. Because what they're playing right now is what they have. They don't have anyone.
They in Europa League.
Yeah,
Leicester,
they're still in Europa League.
Yeah, they are.
I predict Chelsea to finish sixth. I don't think Tuchel will get his team to gel quickly enough.
Like what I said, like,
Yeah,
basically.
it's more of like they will run out the wins here and there, but they will
They will
struggle
maintain
a lot.
that position.
You saw
I
them
think there'll be a gap between them and like the rest, maybe.
You saw them struggling against Spurs, even though it's a 1-0 win, because Spurs didn't turn up that game.
Spurs barely turns up anyway.
yeah,
And you
of
have them
course.
segueing into the fact you have them at 9th.
They don't even turn up in our studio. They don't turn up.
They will never turn up anywhere. The only place they turn up is the Tolabo Stadium, as our Izzat will mention. I've got Villa, Everton. I think we all can agree Arsenal finished mid-table. We all got them finishing 9-10. Initially, I had them at 8 because of the players they had at point. I mean, yeah, they brought in a few players to save their season, but I don't think they have enough players to make an impact. That's why I have them finishing in 10. And I think to wrap it up,
Those are pretty much the
That's
big
pretty much,
changes
yeah.
in your table as well. So those are our predictions from the first half of the season and now our current predictions based on how we've been observing the games going on. Do let us know if our predictions are crap. Like
Tweet.
mine, Spurs winning the title. So that's been rubbish. Maybe his as well, United winning the league. Maybe to some United fan, but I don't think it's our time yet. I think we'll be close, but not there.
but
Just yet.
disclaimer, like my early predicted table is the closest we have right now. So vision. Got a vision. I got a vision.
Okay, can you get jeans? Anyway, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe and share this. Our last video, as I mentioned in the previous video as well, we got close to not 800 views. We got about 700 views, but we only had 17 likes.
I think you all can do better with the likes.
I think if you guys just move your wrist down like that, and then just use your finger action a bit.
Take your parents' phone and press
Don't
the
have to
like
be your
for them.
parents' phone. Use your damn phone.
Yeah, use your
Just
damn
hit that like button.
you guys are not
Get
going
their
to
likes
free
also.
of charge.
Just get everybody's
It's
likes.
free of charge. Give us those likes. Get this man some new jeans.
You guys are not going to lose calories liking.
He has a shirt saying, "Stop trying to be God." There's a sperm on it.
Shit, I just realized.
and this guy is like, his hair, it needs to be cut. It needs to be a bit shaved a bit.
Yeah.
So if you want that to happen live on air as well, drop those likes, give us those numbers. And we appreciate your support either way. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care and peace.
Bye.